The Truth of the Life of Jesus Christ by Dolores Cannon. Param Shanti. Welcome everyone to our spiritual channel Bapuji Dashrathbhai Patel. In this video, we will discuss what Dolores Cannon found through her research about the truth of the life of Jesus Christ. The following is the information she received through her hypnosis therapy and past life regression work, in which she was able to retrieve the exact true events that occurred in the life of Jesus Christ, most of which was not known before her research. Dolores called herself the researcher and reporter of lost knowledge. So to begin, when the Dead Sea Scrolls were discovered in the end of the 1940s in Israel, at the time it was known as the greatest discovery in the history of man, because it included the original versions of the Bible and the history of the times and stories of the Essenes. A couple years later, the theologians didn't want this information to get out to the people, so they made the scrolls disappear again. They did this because the scrolls showed that there was Christianity before Jesus Christ came, and they did not know how to explain this to their followers because it was not what was written in the Bible, and they did not want this information to get out to the people as it was contradicting what was written in the Bible. The Dead Sea Scrolls were written by the Essenes community. The Essenes community had a secret school where mysteries and secret knowledge was taught. Dolores found through her research that their knowledge came from Atlantis. They were the survivors and descendants of the people from Atlantis. And when the Romans came to destroy Jerusalem after the crucifixion, the Essenes buried the Dead Sea Scrolls to hide the knowledge from the Romans and preserve it. Many of the Essenes were murdered, and the others committed suicide because they did not want to give their knowledge to the Romans. So, back then, during the time of the Essenes, reincarnation was the basis of every religion in the world, including in the early Christian church. It was actually until after the death of Christ, when the council put together the Bible, that they decided to not include anything that was about the theory of reincarnation and rebirth. A lot of stories about the life of Jesus was also not included. It was around 500 AD in which the council had meetings to decide what will be in the Bible and what will not be. According to Dolores' research, another interesting fact she came across was that Mary was not Joseph's first wife. He was married to someone else before that. Joseph was a much older man than Mary, and Mary was only 16 when Jesus was born. So Joseph's first wife had died, and he had a son while married to her. The son's name was Joseph, as the tradition during that time was to name the first son after the father. So including Joseph, Jesus had about 9 brothers and sisters altogether. Jesus and John the Baptist were students at the mystery school of the Essenes since they were children. Jesus and John the Baptist learned astrology, astronomy, mathematics, and more. Jesus had the ability to absorb information really fast and learned everything much quicker than normal. Joseph and Mary were also Essenes and were also taught by the Essenes community. To backtrack a little, there is a story that Dolores said about when the king found out that a baby would be born that would be like a Messiah. He was afraid of his throne being taken in the future, and ordered for all baby boys to be killed during that night of the predicted birth of the Messiah. Since baby Jesus was in danger, after the birth, Joseph and Mary were fleeing to Egypt, and they stopped to meet the Essenes on the way. One of the Essenes said that baby Jesus was quiet and not crying, and he had the most beautiful eyes, as if those eyes could see beyond the world. And according to Dolores' research, Jesus actually had red hair and blue eyes, and John the Baptist had fiery red hair and blue eyes. During that time period in that area, a lot of people there had blonde hair and red hair, so these features were common. Jesus was said to be more of a quiet one, and John the Baptist was much more outgoing. Some of the things Jesus learned from the Essenes was how to cure illnesses and how to raise the dead. In the Bible, they call parts of Jesus Christ's life as the missing years. However, Dolores found out what he did and where he went during those years. Jesus' uncle, Joseph of Arimathea, was a wealthy man. He was one of the richest men in the world at that time. He would go to England for his business of trading tin. He would take Jesus along with him on these trips so that he could have Jesus learn from the wisest teachers from all around the world, like England, India, Tibet, China, and more. These are the things Jesus was doing during what is known as the missing years. When he finished learning everything from the mystery school of the Essenes, he developed his own way in which he wanted to teach people what he learned. One of the places where Jesus learned was in Glastonbury, England, which is also where the first church in the world was established when he started to teach the people. However, they did not call it a church. It was only based off of the teachings of Jesus. The teachings of Jesus at that time was called the Way. They did not have a leader at all. The meetings that Jesus held was like gatherings held in one place where everyone met and discussed what they learned. At that time, they would meet at someone's house or in one place, and there was never supposed to be one person over the entire organization. No one was in charge. Anyone could get up and talk. There was never one person telling everyone what to do. There were lectures and demonstrations about meditation, how to heal, how to go into a trance, and metaphysics. This was the way that Jesus meant for it to be. He did not want it to be a structured system. He wanted it to be about the sharing of knowledge. Jesus was teaching people how to cure, meditate, and use their mind. He never wanted to be worshipped, and that was not his intent. He just wanted to pass on to everyone what he had learned. Jesus had a philosophy of love. He said that if there was love, there would be no evil or violence in the world. Another thing Dolores found in her research was that at that time, Jesus had more women followers and disciples than men, because women could understand the metaphysical and intuitive things that he was trying to teach. During that time, most people could not read or write, so he decided he wanted to speak directly to people in a way that they could understand. And he decided to use nature to teach. And this is when he came up with the concept of the parables. Some of the parables were about reincarnation and rebirth, as he was taught this and also believed in it. When Jesus would get up to speak at the synagogues, his voice was so beautiful that everyone was quiet and still, so that they could listen to him. And it was known that there was never a speaker like him. So, in the life of Jesus Christ, he was also lonely. He felt misunderstood and lost. He felt that he was in a time and place where people didn't understand what he was trying to say. It was very hard for him to relate to someone, as he had so much knowledge and he just wanted to share what he knew. So Jesus would also visit villages to teach people how to heal. He told people, everything that I can do, you can do and more. Everyone has a healing center in the palm of their hand. Jesus told people that even they could heal also by touching, and the energy that would come out of their palm could be used to heal. When Jesus would heal people, they would see light coming out of his hand, and that light would be powerful enough to heal the person. However, Jesus could not heal everyone that he came into contact with. He had the ability to look at a person and see their karma, and know whether they had the disease due to their karma or not. And if it was due to their karma, then he could not do anything to heal that person of that disease or illness, because he could not interfere with their karma if it was something that the person had to experience in that lifetime. He was bound by the laws of reincarnation and karma just like anyone else. So in that situation, he could only take away the pain and suffering, but not take away the full disease or problem. When Jesus, his disciples, his followers, and John the Baptist would go to the villages of leprosy to heal people, Judas would be the scribe that would write down everything that would happen, including the miracles and parables that Jesus would come up with. During these trips, Jesus would also bring carpenters with him to fix things, as the villages were of people with leprosy who could not do these types of things for themselves. He also brought women with him who had knowledge of potions, medicine, powders, bandages, and more that would be helpful in treating the people there. So he was practical and always brought people with him that could help and did not always rely on his own abilities. According to Dolores' research, the people that lived during the time of Jesus had often witnessed beings coming out of flying discs that were in the sky that would land on earth. The people of that time would call these beings angels and messengers. The beings that came out of the discs were said to be glowing white beings who were standing on smaller discs so that their feet would not be touching the earth. The beings would skim across to the people. These beings also told the people of that time before Jesus was born and gave them the message that the Messiah would be born during their time. According to Dolores, even when Jesus was a student, there were many spacecrafts with beings that would come and go, and it was considered a very normal and common thing during that time by the people. We also have another video on our channel about the Star of Bethlehem. So, according to the legends, on the night that the Messiah was predicted to be born, it would be the coming together of the four. This was according to the legends, so they did not know what it was, and now it is assumed that they were stars or one big star. According to Dolores Cannon's research, that night there were 4 lights from 4 different corners in the sky that formed a circle, then merged into one big beautiful bright light. Then from that bright light, a beam of light shot down towards the earth. To relate it to the infinite supreme knowledge given through this YouTube channel, according to Bapuji, Jesus Christ had come to this earth from a different universe to awaken and retrieve the souls of his followers that have gotten trapped in the cycle of birth and death on this earth. So to look at it in that perspective, it is also a possibility that on the night of the birth of Jesus Christ, beings from the universe where Jesus was born came along with him to oversee his birth from their spacecrafts up above. And those might actually be spacecrafts, which is what is known as the Star of Bethlehem today. And the aliens that would visit the people during that time, which were called angels, might also just be the beings from where Jesus was from. The beings in those discs or spacecrafts came with the purpose of giving the message to the people of that time that their Messiah was coming. Bapuji has explained in his videos how the different religions came to be on this planet Earth, how it is correlated to aliens and UFOs, and much more. To gain more information about the spiritual knowledge and mysteries of the history of the Earth, solar system, galaxy, universe, multiverse, and beyond, please check out the other videos on this YouTube channel. We also have videos about the truth of the aliens and UFOs revealed by Bapuji through the infinite supreme knowledge that he has given. We have also made other videos about Dolores Cannon in English and in Hindi, so to watch those videos, please click on the I button. You can also find a playlist of the Dolores Cannon videos that we have made. The link to it is in the description box below. Please subscribe to our channel to stay updated for more videos of valuable knowledge. Please like, comment, and share this video. Thank you so much for watching. Param Shanti.